Hi everyone, this is Chris from My Old House Fix, and today let's talk about chopping blocks for a minute. Not all chopping blocks are created equal. You probably have had a few chopping blocks where after a year you're throwing them away, you're buying new ones because they're split. But I picked up a nice tip from a woodworker that's been doing this for a long time, and he had some pretty good tips how to make your chopping block last pretty much forever, almost infinitely. So here's what we have on the left. From left to right, you have pretty much a store-bought chopping block. This came with our stove. One in the middle that we've already treated, and a bare piece of wood here on the right. The two on the right are black walnut. So one of the common problems that you have is separation. Even though this one here was treated, you still see the lines. It's starting to come apart. You can see the splits. We've been using this one for about a year, and it's already starting to split. Even though we treat it like it says with mineral oil a few times a month, we're still getting these splits here at the seams where they put it together. And so we've only had this a year, and pretty much like the chopping block you probably have, it will start splitting. Even though we don't put it in the dishwasher, we hand wash it, we dry it, and you'll throw it away after a year or two. This chopping block here, we've been using it for the same amount of time, and it looks almost completely the way it did, besides some chopping marks, when we treated it. So what did we do? So first we took a piece of raw black walnut, same as we used on the countertops. We had some scrap left over, so we made chopping blocks. This is a bare piece. As you can see, it has a very different color than the one we have here. So what is the trick? So take your chopping block. If it's untreated bare wood, the problem we had with this one was it was already treated with some kind of sealer, so it wouldn't take any kind of oil like these other ones would. So we take a pan, we fill it with oil, about 3/4 up, and you'll leave it soaking here for about a week if it's this thick. If it's thinner, maybe not so long, but about halfway up the wood, and you'll leave it soaking, and you'll see over about a week, maybe even 2 weeks if it's super thick, it'll start to soak up through the wood, and you'll start to see it bubble on top. After you see that, then you flip it over, leave it for about another week in the other side. But what happens is this whole piece of wood gets impregnated with oil, and we just used canola oil. And what happens is it's treated all the way through, so it's not just on the surface, and after you use it, it doesn't wash off and become dry and start splitting again. So that's what we did. We left it soaking in here, and as you can see, it soaked all the way through. You can see the two different colors. And instead of wiping it down 2 or 3 times a month, like this one recommends on the back on the instructions, we do this one maybe 2 or 3 times a year. Put some felt pads on it too, that's nice to keep from scratching the countertop, and it works out great. So as you can see, black walnut untreated, soaking it for a couple of weeks here, and it will last almost indefinitely, as long as you don't put it in the dishwasher. And the store-bought chopping block that you'll see is kind of pre-treated. They don't hold up well, they start splitting. So I hope that works for you. So take your chopping block, raw wood, soak it for a couple of weeks, and you should be good to go for a very long time. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the tip, and we'll talk to you later. This is Chris from My Old House Fix. See y'all.